Hello, my name is Jessie Vernon. I am a program coordinator with the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research. We are the primary organizers behind the Southern Virginia Career Choice Youth Expo. Today's webinar is going to provide a snapshot of what the Expo is, what it's all about, an introduction to some of the Expo lingo and terminology, and just what it is one does as an activity provider for the event. The SOVA Career Choice Youth Expo is an opportunity for us to expose students to the career opportunities we have here in Southern Virginia. So this is our future workforce. We want our young people to become trained and educated and prepared for the career opportunities that we have here in our area. We find that all too often students are aware of the careers and jobs they see through media or through their relatives and friends, but they don't really know just how diverse our career pool is here in Southside. And so this event is designed to provide those students with a look at what their options are, to talk to professionals in the field and see what sort of training they need. Okay, I need a 4-year degree to go into this career field, or I need an associate's degree with some technical training. And so it's an opportunity to give the students a goal and to come up with maybe a career option that they had never considered before. We do produce a video highlighting the event each year. That video is available through the Career Choice website. And this provides a snapshot of what the event is really like, both from the business perspective through interviews, but educators and students. In an effort to conserve some time, I'm not going to share it here, but again, we do encourage you, especially if you're a first-time participant, to go and view that video. Each year, the Expo has nearly 4,000 student participants. These students come from 7th to 10th grade, and they are from a 6-county and city school division area. So it's Danville and Martinsville City, Halifax, Henry, Patrick, and Pittsylvania County. With a middle and high school grade level, it's usually 2 schools from kind of each area. So we get Tunstall Middle and Tunstall High, Martinsville City Middle, Martinsville City High, and Henry, where there are 2 different high schools, 2 different middle schools. They all participate, and so on. We have over 390 crew members and volunteers from last year's count that represented over 55 different organizations. These are the folks that make the event possible. So the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research helps organize this event. However, without just the countless hours and the dedication of these crew members and volunteers, there wouldn't be an event for these students to participate in. This year's event is expected to get even bigger. We will be having an expo in the evening, which will have kind of open public or community hours, and we'll touch base on that as we near the end of the presentation. As a first-time participant, we throw around some terminology that's unique to the event, kind of in our 5th year, taking it for granted sometimes that not everyone knows what all these things mean. So I'm just going to touch base on some of the terminology you may see both on the website but in email correspondence to hopefully help you feel a little more comfortable in your communications with the planning team. So a staff member is an individual like myself who's involved in the planning and organization of the event. So these are your go-to people if you have a question about logistics, scheduling, space, electrical needs, those sorts of things. Volunteers are members of the community that participate in the event kind of outside of an organization. So these are individuals who are volunteering their time, the days of the event, to stuff bags, to welcome students as they get off the buses, to help make sure that the students are staying within their specific zone at the event, and then to help make sure that all those students get back onto the bus at the end of their visit. Activity providers are our business participants. So these are folks with a business or nonprofit that provide a approximately 5-minute hands-on activity that shows the students what it's like to work within their field, why they enjoy what they do, what it's like to be in that field. Generally, with each participating organization, there's a crew chief, kind of a spearheader, an organizer within that group, who is going to get all of the materials together for the activity, display pieces, maybe come up with a schedule for the folks who are actually going to man your station, your booth at the event, so that no one's pulling the entire shift themselves. But that's a crew chief, so the person who is kind of spearheading your organization's participation. That crew chief generally fills out the activity form. So every participating organization is asked to submit an activity form through the website. So this form asks what you'll be doing as an activity, and then what needs you have in terms of space, tables, electrical access, water access if you need it. We can accommodate most things. We haven't gotten anything so far out of left field that we haven't been able to do it yet, but we are willing to work with you in any way possible. We just need to know what your needs are. So that activity form is the best way to communicate those needs. Crew members are going to be the employees, generally, of our participating organizations that staff one of these activity stations. So crew members aren't necessarily the person who organized their business's participation, but they are there to share their passion, their enthusiasm with the students, help them complete the activity, and talk to them about their career field. Sponsors are those organizations that provide either a monetary or a materials donation to the event. The SOPA Career Choice Youth Expo takes place at the Old Dominion Agricultural Complex in Chatham, which is a really large venue. In addition to it being really large, getting 4,000 students through there over 2 days in an organized fashion is possible, but you need to make it kind of organized and structured. So we've done that through the use of work zones. So the event is broken down into 4 subsections. Students then rotate through each of these subsections at 15-minute intervals. So a group comes in, they get a welcome. They then move on to Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4, with a bell chiming every 15 minutes to tell them when to move. A shift is an incoming group of students. So we simply letter our shifts, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and each incoming group gets a coordinated backpack color. So you'll see in this picture here that all these students are wearing yellow backpacks. Say this is shift E. We then know that this group, right, should be together in Zone 1 all the way through Zone 4, and then the exit at the end of the event. And so the backpacks are color coordinated, so each group around each other doesn't have the same one. So if we were to see a child with a green backpack in the sea of yellow, we would know that that student is out of place, and we just need to get that little duckling back to where they go. So these shifts run all day from about 8:50 the first one arrives, at about 2:20, 2:30 the last one leaves, and so these groups, each shift is just an incoming group, generally from the same school, but not always, as they come into the expo. We break the arena down into 4 different zones, and we do our best to refer to each of these areas as Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, and Zone 4. Over the years, we have had some other terms pop up just out of use and love. So Zone 3, which you'll see at the top of this map here, is actually just behind the main building of the Old Dominion Agricultural Complex. And this is lovingly referred to as the barn. So the barn is completely covered. It actually has concrete flooring and awesome electrical access, but it is detached from the main building there. The students walk into Zone 3. It's not like that gets skipped if there's inclement weather or that you're going to get rained on out there. It's totally covered. Again, great electrical access, concrete floor, but sometimes that does get referred to as the barn. So if you hear the barn, that's what we're talking about. The arena is going to be zones 1 and 2. So this is the actual packed dirt floor inside the Old Dominion Agricultural Complex. The dirt floor gets packed really tightly, and so it's a very firm footing for anything that you might need to bring. We also do offer OSB board if you'd like another layer on top of that for any tables, chairs, equipment that you might have. Also within the main building of the agricultural complex is the concrete pad, which is zone 4. So this section of the main building does have a concrete floor, and so that sometimes gets referred to as the concrete pad. Again, we're really trying to convert everyone to zone 1, 2, 3, and 4. However, these 3 terms do pop up enough that I felt like it was worth mentioning them. So this event is really all about the students. You know, we said over 390 volunteers and crew members are all coming together to provide this amazing experience and service to our students. We want students to have this as a resource as they make their academic and career plans. So students within the state of Virginia are required as a middle school student to come up with an academic and career plan, and then to reevaluate that as a high school student. And so we felt that this event, as well as the resources that we provide the students around this event, are a good way to help them make an informed choice about what it is that they're working towards. So we provide pre-expo presentations. Previously, this has just been to the students participating in the event. This year we're going to change that up a little bit. So we are not only visiting the students at every participating school, we are going to visit the faculty. So we'll visit the faculty, share some background information similar to this with those teachers about what the event is all about and why the students are participating. And then we're also going to elicit their help in completing some surveys with the students. And we'll get to focus our pre-expo presentations on how the students should utilize the event itself to its utmost, but also on how to utilize this career choice booklet that you see here. This booklet is given to every eligible student participant. So obviously, just due to students' ability to turn in field trip forms and those sorts of things, we don't actually see all of the students that are eligible to come to this event each year. However, when we visit the schools and do these presentations, we get this booklet to every eligible student. So if a school division is sending 7th and 10th graders, this booklet goes home to every 7th and 10th grader. It provides some awesome career resources. It also includes our sponsors and our business participants. And so it's a great way to get your organization out to 4,000 plus families. So the booklet contains largely these 2-page spreads with career cluster information, including job growth potential, a young professional profile, so a snapshot of someone young working in this field in our region, as well as some occupation names, their average median wages, and then the typical education level necessary for that position, as well as Southern Virginia employers who would hire folks working in this field. In addition to these kind of 2-page spreads about the career clusters, it includes some general information about benefits, a student activity that helps the students explore their interests and try and translate those into some related career opportunities. This booklet has been copied by several other organizations, both within state as well as out of state. So the booklet is available in digital form online through our website, and so folks have found it and have really replicated it as a best practice. In addition to these booklets, the students are also provided with an activity map. These maps are made so that the students can plan out their visit to the event. So there are a ton of activities, and the students are only in each zone for 15 minutes. And so in order to help them make the most of their time while they're there, we ask the students to circle the 3 or 4 activities they want to visit within each zone, so that they are sort of driven and focused, and they can get to those activities within the time restraints. Students are obviously free to change their mind and go check out something else that they like. However, we just find that this helps them spend less time wandering around, finding something of interest, and getting to those specific activities that they feel are the most beneficial to them. Students do complete a pre and a post survey, and so these surveys ask the students about how they feel about their math skills, whether they currently feel that there's a good job for them in Southern Virginia, what their areas of interest are, the specific job that they're most interested in right now, and then also their plans after they graduate high school. So we do this pre and post to see kind of if there's any change among students. And then we do, even with the high school students, do this even further out in the spring to see if over time, a little more time, their answers and their attitudes are changing about some of these areas. So what do you need to do if you want to get involved? So our business participants, again, provide a brief, approximately 5-minute hands-on activity that gives these students a glimpse into your career field. So in order to participate, we simply ask that you submit that activity form that, again, will provide us with all the logistics we need to know about your activity. If at all possible, we do ask that you have a representative participate in the Crew Chief Luncheon on July 20th. If not, that's okay. We'll touch base with you via phone or in person. We are going to have a logistics webinar on September 18th. And this we actually recommend for anyone within your organization that may be helping you to staff your activity. So this is going to provide details about parking, about food, about where you are at the event, about the timeline for your specific zone, all of those details. And we find a lot of questions come up at the event. We're hoping that this webinar will help kind of answer some of those before you even get there. And then leisure activities. So we will set up for the expo and hold expo in the evening on October 2nd, and then the schools will visit October 3rd and 4th. So it is a 2-day, 1-evening commitment to participate. And again, you're going to see over, not all, but there'll be over 4,000 kids coming through the event. We generally say you'll probably see about half, so 2,000 kids that you'll get to see and interact with at the event. And then we're hoping, again, Expo in the evening is new this year, our 5th year, but we're hoping to have a really good community turnout on October 2nd. Next steps. So all of this information is available through the Career Choice website, which is www.sovacareerchoice.org. The deadline for the activity form submission and sponsorship commitment is July 20th. However, we are able to make some accommodations after that date. However, based on when booklets have to be sent to the printer, maps have to be sent to the printer, we may not always be able to accommodate your logo or your activity being printed. But even if it's after that date, please contact us if you'd like to get involved. We will be holding the Crew Chief Luncheon at the Old Dominion Agricultural Complex on July 20th also. Again, if at all possible, have your crew chief or your organizer participate. The logistics webinar will be held on September 18th. That will be at 2 p.m. We understand not everyone will be able to participate at that time, but we really encourage you to have everyone within your organization that will be participating view it. And then the expo itself. So the expo is going to be October 2nd through 4th, with October 2nd being our setup and expo in the evening. Expo in the evening will be held from 5 to 7. In addition to participating, we hope that you will invite your other employees who aren't participating in the event, your families, if you have young people, either children or students that you mentor, invite them to come. And then October 3rd and 4th, generally the days are about 8:30 to 2:30, that we'll get those scheduled school visits. If you have any questions as you think about participating or as you move on to fill out that activity form, I hope that you won't hesitate to reach out. My email is Jessie, Jessie, Vernon, Vernon, @ialr.org. We look forward to working with you and helping you have a memorable experience along with the students that participate in this event. Thank you.